Tomorrow at 3 p.m., something extraordinary happens in Richmond, Virginia. A group of Buddhist monks who've walked 2,300 miles through snow, ice, and freezing temperatures, who've touched thousands of hearts along the way, who are followed by 2.4 million people online, will stand at Capitol Square. They'll face the mayor, the governor, the halls of political power. But they won't speak loudly. They won't demand. They won't protest. They'll simply be. And in that silence, something sacred will unfold. What happens when millions of hearts hold their breath at the same time? Tomorrow at 3 p.m., we find out. Because this isn't just a rally. This isn't just another stop on a walking route. This is a turning point. The moment when peace walks into power and the whole world watches to see what happens next. Tomorrow is day 100, 100 days of walking, 10 days from Washington, D.C.
And Richmond, Virginia becomes the stage for something the world deeply needs to witness. Here's what's happening tomorrow. If you're anywhere near Richmond, you can actually be part of this. 1:30 p.m., Firehouse number 17 at 2211 Semmes Avenue. The monks stop for lunch. It's open to the public. The firefighters and police officers will exchange patches with the monks, a gesture of protection and respect. And here's the important part. Anyone can meet at the firehouse and walk with the monks to Capitol Square. You can literally walk beside people who've walked 2,300 miles for peace. No special permission needed, no invitation required. Just show up. From the firehouse, they'll walk to Capitol Square. The exact route is being finalized, but the destination is clear. The heart of Virginia's political power. 2:30 p.m. Streets around City Hall start closing. Richmond is preparing. Barriers going up, security positioning.
The city government knows something significant is about to happen. 3 p.m., the peace rally begins at Capitol Square. Mayor, governor, or representative, elected officials, community leaders, and thousands of residents gathering. But at the center of it all, the monks, silent, present, carrying a message that goes beyond politics. Bhikkhu Pannakara, who leads this walk, will share words. Not a sermon, not a lecture, just truth, spoken from someone who's walked through 6 states in winter to deliver it. 4:30 p.m. The monks leave for their overnight location in Henrico County. And Richmond will be left changed. Not dramatically, not obviously, but changed. Because as the monks teach, when our message touches something deep within them, when it awakens the peace that has always lived quietly in their own heart, something sacred begins to unfold. Richmond isn't just another city on the map. Richmond is Virginia's capital. A city steeped in history, both beautiful and painful. A city that's seen war, division, reconstruction, and ongoing struggles toward unity. Tomorrow, Richmond sees something different. Monks in orange robes, some walking barefoot despite winter cold, carrying nothing but prayer beads and the weight of millions of hopes on their shoulders. Politicians talk about peace. Monks walk it. Tomorrow, they meet. And here's what makes that moment powerful. The monks don't come with demands. They don't come with legislation or policy proposals. They come with presence, with what they call noble silence, with a living demonstration that peace is possible even in the midst of noise, trouble, and hard work. The monks teach, peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. Richmond represents power, government, decision-making that affects millions.
And into that space walks radical gentleness, not weakness, gentleness, the kind of strength that can walk 2,300 miles in winter and still stop to bless a baby, the kind of power that draws thousands to stand in freezing temperatures just to witness it. When peace walks into the halls of power, something shifts. Not immediately, not with fanfare, But like water on stone, persistent presence changes everything. Tomorrow, Richmond becomes part of this story, not as a backdrop, but as a participant. Every person who shows up at 3 p.m., every heart that opens even slightly to the possibility that peace is real, they become part of the 2.4 million hearts beating in rhythm with this walk. Yesterday in Petersburg, Virginia, something remarkable happened. Thousands of people waited, not hundreds, thousands, some for 6 hours in the cold. Families brought children, elders brought folding chairs.
The Rotary clubs brought portable heaters because they knew people wouldn't leave, no matter how long it took. When the monks finally arrived, something extraordinary unfolded. Not a concert, not a performance, just presence. A woman named Heather Martin drove to see the monks twice in one day. She wrote, "They thanked me for being there. The emotion of being in their presence is indescribable. You see love in everyone's eyes and realize peace is really what we all need." One of the monks handed her a flower, just a simple flower, and she said, "A memory for a lifetime." Another woman, Diane Overstreet, also received a flower. Her words, "It was so comforting, peaceful, and I was surprised to receive a flower." A baby, maybe 6 months old, received a blessing. The monk placed his hand gently on the child's head, whispering words of peace. And in that moment, everyone watching understood, this isn't about Buddhism, this is about humanity, recognizing humanity.
That night, the monks stayed at Virginia State University, a historically black university. Buddhist monks from various backgrounds staying at an HBCU in the American South, bringing a message of unity. Heart touching heart, peace touching peace. They didn't come for a show, they came for peace. And the people of Petersburg recognized something authentic when they saw it. That's why they stood in the cold for hours. That's why they cried. That's why millions online are following every step of this journey.
Because in a world overwhelmed by noise, pretense, and performance, genuine presence is magnetic. These monks have been walking for 99 days, 99 consecutive days of putting one foot in front of the other, no matter the weather, no matter the exhaustion, no matter the pain. They started October 26, 2025, in Fort Worth, Texas. Temperature has dropped as low as the teens. Some monks, including leader Bhikkhu Pannakara, walk barefoot for significant portions, despite winter cold. Their feet are calloused, scarred, transformed by the journey. They've walked through Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Tomorrow, they walk through Virginia, and in 10 days, they arrive at the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. Along the way, the world has watched. A young girl with autism who never speaks to strangers walked up to the monks and smiled. Crowds have lined highways, crying openly.
A stray dog named Aloka, rescued in India, and now recovering from surgery, travels with them, a living symbol of compassion for all beings. And Bhikkhu Pannakara keeps teaching the same message. Our walking itself cannot create peace, but when someone encounters us, when our message touches something deep within them, when it awakens the peace that has always lived quietly in their own heart, something sacred begins to unfold. This isn't someone who was born into monasticism. Bhikkhu Pannakara is a former Motorola engineer, University of Texas at Arlington graduate, someone who knew the corporate world, the stress, the competition, and chose to leave it all behind for this, for silent walking, for blessing strangers, for demonstrating that another way is possible. Every morning he says the same thing, "Today will be my peaceful day." Not "I hope today will be peaceful," not "maybe today will be peaceful," but a declaration, "Today will be my peaceful day."
That's not naive optimism, that's radical choice. And tomorrow at 3 p.m. in Richmond, that choice meets millions of people who are trying to believe that peace is still possible in 2026. Tomorrow is day 100, 100 days of walking for peace. But the journey isn't over.
After Richmond, the monks continue to Fredericksburg, then to Quantico Marine Corps Base, where warriors will meet peace walkers in what promises to be a profound encounter. Then to Arlington, where they'll likely visit Arlington National Cemetery, honoring those who died in war while carrying a message that perhaps one day, war won't be necessary. And then, February 11th, 2026, Washington, D.C., the United States Capitol. Day 110, the completion of 2,300 miles. The moment when a promise made in Texas on a cold October morning is finally fulfilled. Richmond is where peace meets power. Washington is where peace meets the world. Global media will be there, international dignitaries.
Thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, gathering to witness the arrival. And every single step of the final 10 days builds toward that moment. But here's what the monks would want you to understand. The arrival in Washington isn't the point. The walking is the point. The daily choice to practice peace is the point. The moment-by-moment decision to be calm in your heart despite the chaos around you, that's the point. As they teach, peace is not something to be found at the end of the road, but something we carry with us in every mindful breath and every kind gesture. Tomorrow, Richmond carries that peace for one afternoon, for one gathering at Capitol Square, and then it's up to us, up to you, up to every person who witnesses this to decide, what now? Do I let this moment fade, or do I let it change me? Tomorrow at 3 p.m., you can be part of this. If you live in Richmond or anywhere nearby, go to Capitol Square. Arrive early. Streets close at 2:30 p.m.
If you want to walk with the monks, meet at Firehouse number 17 at 1:30 p.m. You'll exchange more than steps. You'll exchange presence. Can't be there physically? Watch online. The live map is at dhammachaitya.com/walkforpeace. Facebook live streams will be running at @walkforpeaceusa, Instagram at @walkforpeace.usa. You can be one of millions of hearts beating together, even from thousands of miles away. But whether you're there in person or watching from home, I want you to do something. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you start worrying about your day, look in the mirror and say what Bhikkhu Pannakara says every single morning. Today will be my peaceful day. Say it out loud, mean it. Not because your circumstances are perfect, not because everything is solved, but because you choose it. Because peace, as the monks demonstrate, isn't a destination, it's a practice. It's a decision made new every single day.
Heart touching heart. Peace touching peace. Tomorrow, Richmond's heart touches millions of hearts around the world. And maybe those hearts will touch millions more. And eventually, the world shifts. Not all at once, not dramatically, but gradually, like monks walking 2,300 miles one step at a time. As one observer wrote, watching the monks walk through the cold with so much warmth in their eyes is a reminder that peace isn't about the weather, it's a choice. Tomorrow, Richmond chooses. The question is, will you? Subscribe to see what happens when the monks arrive in Washington, D.C. 10 days from now. Because this story isn't over. It's just beginning. And you're part of it whether you realize it or not. Every person watching this video right now is connected to every other person watching. We're all walking together. Some of us on Virginia streets, some of us in living rooms in California, in Brazil, in Thailand, in Kenya.
But we're all walking toward the same thing, the possibility that peace is real. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., Capitol Square, Richmond, Virginia. Be there, or watch, or simply pause for one moment at 3 p.m. wherever you are. Close your eyes and breathe. And say it. Today will be my peaceful day. Heart touching heart. Peace touching peace. See you tomorrow.